Are you struggling to take down the Serpenphare optional boss in Expedition 33? Don't worry, we've gathered some of the best strategies to help make the fight against this flying, AP absorbing serpent a walk in the park. We'll throw a spoiler warning up here, as you'll need to have completed Act 2 of the story to even be able to reach Serpenphare. So, come back to this video once you've wrapped up Act 2 and experienced the narrative twists and turns for yourself. Serpenphare can be found floating high in the sky north of Stone Wave Cliffs Cave on the world map. Though you'll be able to see it in the air from early in Act 2, you won't be able to reach it until much later. To be able to reach Serpenphare, you'll need to unlock Esquia's ability to fly, which becomes automatically available after defeating the Paintress at the end of Act 2. While on the world map, make your way up and approach Serpenphare for the battle to begin. The mechanics of the fight against Serpenphare mean that you can realistically go in with any party setup, but we use Mael, Verso and Lune. Mael and Verso act as the main damage dealers, while Lune is centered as the support to heal the others and, if possible, negate some of Serpenphare's moves, which we'll get into shortly. Equip Mael with Jarum so she can enter Virtuoso stance after every counterattack. Give Lune the Snowing weapon so she can negate fatal damage multiple times throughout the fight as a safety net, and equip Verso with either the Contorso or Cruelerun weapons. Serpenphare is weak to lightning, so Contorso is definitely the stronger choice, but the powerless application from counterattacks with Cruelerun is also perfectly viable to depower the boss. Speaking of a weakness to lightning, though Lune is positioned as a support character here, she can also use skills like Electrify and Lightning Dance to deal heavy damage if the opportunity arises and healing or reviving aren't needed. In terms of Pictos and Lumina, you can set Pictos as realistically whatever you'd like dependent on the stat boost that they provide, but for all three party members you'll want the following Lumina: Energizing Parry, Augmented Counter, Cheater, Healing Counter, Painted Power, Teamwork, Empowering Parry, Charging Counter, and Second Chance or Clears Life if you can afford them. Healing Parry and Healing Share are also strong choices if you're not overly confident in your parrying abilities. Energizing Revive can also be a real boon if you can afford Second Chance on everyone. The core gimmick with Serpenphare is that it will repeatedly absorb all AP from every member of the party, making it very difficult for you to use any skills without the proper planning. That's why you'll need the Energizing Parry Lumina, to ensure that you actually can have some AP to spend each turn. That alone makes this a more complex fight than something like Sprong, and Serpenphare even has an expanded set of attacks to boot. It can perform a series of tail swipes. Those coming from the left, you'll need to parry, and those coming from the right, you'll need to jump. Serpenphare also has a head smash attack, and the UI alert will tell you how many times it'll happen. The slams always come in sets of 2, so parry twice, then pause for a second before parrying twice more. This remains the same if it slams its head 4 times or 6 times. You get the idea. After absorbing AP a number of times, Serpenphare will overload and trigger an explosion that will injure not only itself, but also your party unless you parry or dodge it. The head of the creature, which looks strangely like a lighthouse, will flash red 8 times before detonating. The first 2 flashes are slow, and the rest quickly build up in speed. As you reach the 8th flash, parry and you'll perform a counter, dealing additional damage on top of its self-injury. This is why Energizing Parry is especially useful, as you'll accumulate AP as you parry attacks, which Serpenphare will then absorb en masse, expediting its overload and explosions. You can also use energy tints on your first turn with each character after having their AP drained, and then utilize that refreshed AP on your second turn thanks to the Cheater Lumina. Serpenphare can also attack with laser projectiles, and like the head smashes, the alert will tell you how many projectiles are on the way. It absorbs energy inward towards the point of its head before quickly shooting it out at one of your party members. The final shot will always be a gradient attack, so keep in mind that you'll need to gradient counter. Another option, for those less confident with their parry timing, is to dodge every attack bar the last one. The last shot will always be a gradient attack, and therefore it allows a slightly more generous parry window to prepare for due to the slowdown. You can technically therefore just dodge through all the other shots and perform a gradient counter at the end. That way, you'll make it through this attack in a much easier fashion without missing out on the counterattack opportunity. It also has a freezing attack, in which it fires a similar beam, but the charge up is slightly different. It'll quickly absorb energy in, then absorb energy in again, and then fire. It'll do this for each party member, and it will freeze them if you don't parry or dodge the shots. Occasionally, Serpenphare will also gain up to 9 shields while increasing its speed, which lets it attack more often. You can always use up any accumulated AP to shoot free aim shots to efficiently remove these shields, or if you have a gradient attack ready, you can use Lumina's Tremor ability at level 1, which removes all enemy shields and deals damage at the same time. Serpenphare can also launch a silencing attack, where it will rain down 3 separate projectiles from the air that arc in towards you, each of which you'll need to dodge or parry in sequence. After finally defeating Serpenphare, you'll receive the Energy Master Pictos, which increases your AP gain from any source by 1, which is extremely potent when applied party-wide as a Lumina. And that's how to defeat Serpenphare in Expedition 33. Check out our wiki for quest guides, collectibles and Pictos locations, and for everything else gaming, you're already in the right place. IGN.